Hello folks, welcome to the part 6 of Git Tutorials by workat.tech. In this part, we'll be looking at one amazing concept, that is branching and then merging which is associated with it, which actually makes the job easier for developers whenever they're actually working on new projects. So yeah, let's switch to my screen. So let's get started. So in order to actually understand about branches, merging and all those kind of things, we'll be actually working on a new folder. Okay, so as you can see, this is a new folder and I'm actually going to add before that what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open the terminal, git init. Okay, so now we have actually initialized an empty git repo basically within this VCS. So now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a new file called demo.js, and as you can actually, as you might have expected, console.log hello world, and yeah, so that is our first change, and I'm actually going to commit it, git commit. Okay, initialized the project. Yeah, okay, so we have actually done that, and if you're actually checking git log, so what I'm actually going to do is git add demo.js. Now I'm actually going to commit it, git commit, and what is the message that we have? What do we have? Kickstarted the tutorial, because that's what we're actually doing here, right? Yeah, so we have actually committed that particular change, and now what we're actually going to do is, let me just clear it. Now let's actually, let's actually push this particular thing to GitHub and git push, and okay, we need to have a URL, new repo, okay, git project, yep, that is available. Create that particular repository. Let's have this particular URL with us. Yeah, and now you can see that we need to actually add this particular destination URL. Okay, so what we are actually going to do is, first we need to actually give the destination a name. Okay, basically our repo that we actually created over here a name. Okay, so what I'm actually going to give is the same name that is actually over here, which is basically our project name also, git project. Okay, git project, and then I'm actually going to give the URL. Okay, that is this URL. So now what we have actually done is we have actually set the upstream as this particular, not upstream, like we have actually added the destination URL as this particular thing, and now I'm actually going to git push demo.js. now it's actually saying, now it's actually asking us to set the upstream as the earlier thing. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change demo.js to git project itself, and then I'm actually going to enter. So now that has actually been pushed. If you are coming up over here, reloading the page, you can see that we have a master and we have demo.js where we actually kickstarted this particular tutorial, right? So now let me just clear it. Now let's look at the concept of branching. Okay, so as the name suggests, it's similar to like having basically one thing and then multiple versions or multiple branches coming out of it. Okay, let's consider that from the software developer perspective. Assume that you have actually one particular code base. Okay, so by making a branch out of it, what you're actually doing is you're actually creating an exact replica of that particular code base. Okay, let's call that the original code base as master. Okay, master branch. Okay, so we're actually creating exact clones of the master branch. Okay, and the name of the branches that we're actually creating can be anything. That's completely up to us. Okay, so let's think of a use case over here. Okay, you have one particular project. You actually deployed that. Okay, everything is running fine. So after some time you thought that maybe you can actually rework on certain particular features and basically optimize it or basically improve it. So if you're actually directly going to make some changes on the original code base, it's going to be a mess. Okay, so basically, and that is something that needs to, that is a concern if the main code base is in production. Okay, so what you can actually do is you can create a branch which is basically the exact replica of the original code base, and then you can actually do or basically make all the changes on your branch. Okay, so once you verify that everything is working fine, you can actually merge all these particular changes back to the original code base. Okay, it's as simple as that. Another example that we can actually think about is, let's say if multiple people are working on the same project, both of those particular people can actually create their own branches. Okay, then they can actually work on their own changes, and at a later stage, if both of their changes are not creating any issues to the original code base or basically the master branch, they can actually merge their own branches. Okay, so that is how branching works in let's say this particular version control system. Okay, get VCS. Okay, so now let's actually get started with this particular thing. Okay, so in order to do that, what I'm actually going to do is git status. Okay, our branch master is, or like everything is up to date, and what I'm actually going to do is let's actually create a new branch. Okay, before that, git branch is a command which shows all the branches that's actually available. If you are running that particular command, we can see that we right now have master branch, which is basically the original branch, and you can see it's actually highlighted with the asterisk mask and asterisk and then green color, which basically means that we are right now on the master branch. In order to create a new branch, what we can actually do is git branch and then give a name to that particular branch. Okay, you can either do it like this, or what you can actually do is git checkout -b, give a branch name. Okay, so I'll tell you what that particular thing is. Let's use the previous method itself, git branch. So my name is Aravind, and I'm actually going to give the name of this particular branch as Aravind. Okay, git branch Aravind. Okay, so now if you are actually checking the checking by using git branch command, we can see that there is two branches available, which is basically Aravind and master, and we are right now again on the master branch itself. Okay, and in order to actually move to the new branch, that is Aravind, what can be done is git checkout Aravind. Okay, and now if I'm actually checking git branch, you can see we are right now on the branch Aravind. Okay, so now let's come back to the command git checkout b and then the name of the branch. Okay, so what this particular command does is it will create a new branch of the name that we're actually giving, and will actually check out directly to that particular branch. We don't have to manually run the git checkout branch name command again to actually move to that particular branch. It's as simple as that. Okay, so we right now have two branches, Aravind and master, and we are right now on the branch Aravind. So I am going to make a change, console.log, this is branch Aravind. Okay, so I made that particular change. Let me just clear this, and I'm actually going to what can I say, commit all those particular changes. Git commit. What do we have over there? Yep, added the branch name at the bottom. That's what we did, right? So we actually committed that, and if you're actually coming over here, you won't notice anything over here because we didn't make any change to the master branch. And if you can see that we are still on the master branch and there's no other branches, right? And just to confirm over here, git branch gives us that we actually own Aravind. Okay, and if you actually move to git checkout, that is how we move between the branches. Okay, git checkout and master. Just notice we don't have this particular line on master, and that will actually be gone now. Okay, yeah, that is gone. We just have this one particular line over there. Okay, because all the changes that we actually made was on the branch Aravind. Okay, so now we have actually two branches. So let me just go back to Aravind branch checkout Aravind. Okay, right now we are on the branch Aravind. Let's actually push this particular changes to GitHub. So as you so here there's no other branch except master over here, right? So what I'm actually going to do is git push, basically to get this particular command, and what I am actually going to do is git remote add the name of the basically the repo that we actually added earlier was git project, right? So we are actually going to push into the same repo because this is another branch of the same project, right? So yeah, git project, and okay, okay, so that was not the command actually. We actually had to git push this particular branch that was Aravind, right? Yeah, so this is actually the command to actually push this particular branch to GitHub. Okay, yeah, so what I'm actually going to do is git push set upstream. Yeah, so the next thing that we actually have to enter is the name of the GitHub repo that we actually added earlier, which is git project in our case. Okay, because we added git project and then connected that particular URL earlier, right? So what we are actually going to do is git project and then give the name of the branch that we actually have to push. Okay, so this is the name of the repo that we actually connected earlier. We are basically setting the upstream for this particular branches, this particular repo itself, and then the name of the branch. Earlier it was master, now it's actually Aravind. Okay, if you are doing that, tada, that's done. Now if you are actually reloading this particular page, you can see that master, we have master branch, we have Aravind branch also. So it's also saying that Aravind had recent, okay, this particular branch, okay, had recent pushes less than a minute ago. We can compare and pull request. Okay, that is something that we can actually look into later. Okay, so let me just clear it. So right now what we did was we created a new branch called Aravind, and we actually pushed that particular branch to GitHub. You can see over here, that is this particular branch. Okay, this is branch Aravind. So now what we can actually look at next is git branch. Right now we are on Aravind, we are actually moving back to master. Let's actually look at what merging is. Okay, so merging is that particular concept where we actually just merging the changes on the branch, like on the branch that we actually created to the original code base. Okay, so in order to do that, you have to actually make sure that you are actually on the master branch, or basically the branch where you actually have to merge the changes. Okay, so the change that we actually have to merge is on Aravind, and the branch that we actually want to have that particular changes merged is master, right? So we are right now on the master branch. Okay, now the command for merging is git merge. Okay, and then we have to actually enter the name of the branch that we actually have to merge. Okay, that is going to be Aravind. And if I'm actually going to run this particular command, what is going to happen? This particular line came up over here, right? This was actually earlier there on which branch? It was actually there on master earlier. And if you can actually check, not check out, git branch branch, you can see we are still on master, but we have the change that was actually there on master branch. Okay, yeah, so we basically merged that particular change. Okay, and now I'm actually going to commit commit in merged the branch Aravind. So we actually did that, right? Yeah, so let me just go back to git project master branch. Yeah, we have that. Yeah, so what I'm actually going to do is git push. So it actually pushed, I guess. Yeah, yeah, so the merged changes are actually over here. Okay, because we actually merged it, right? If you are checking the history, that is actually happening because we actually merged those particular changes. Okay, since we actually merged, okay, there was no need to actually commit. Those particular changes actually came up over here. Okay, console.log, this is actually branch Aravind. That was the change that we made to branch Aravind, and now we have that particular thing on our master branch also. Okay, as you can see over here. So that is basically merging. Okay, if required, maybe we can actually create one more change to look into that. Git checkout Aravind, or maybe what can be done is we can actually create a new branch, git checkout be third. Okay, that is going to be our third branch. If we are checking git branch command, you can see we are right on the third branch. I'm going to add console.log. This is the, okay, what am I doing, third branch. Okay, so we actually made that particular changes. I'm actually going to git commit these particular changes to the third branch. Added third branch message. Okay, done that. So what I'm actually going to do is git push third, and yeah, git push. So I'm actually doing git push third to actually get this particular command, okay, in order to know to remember that particular thing every time, like just to make sure that there's no mistake. Okay, git push set upstream. Again, the repo name is git project that we actually added earlier, and then the branch name, okay, third. Third. Okay, so now if you're actually going back to this particular git project, you can see that there is another branch called as third branch. Okay, third branch and master. Okay, yeah, coming back, we are going to check out to the master. As you can see, we don't have this fifth line in the master branch. That is actually not there. Let me just clear it. Now what we're actually going to do is we are going to actually merge this particular branches. Okay, get merge. We are in the master branch. We are going to merge the changes that is actually there on the third branch. Okay, third. So now that particular change is actually over here, so we can just push this particular change. Okay, we merged it and we are just pushing it. Okay, yeah, so now we have that particular thing on our main branch, which was basically there on the third branch. Okay, we now have that particular thing on our main branch, or basically the master branch. Okay, so another thing that I would like to show in this particular place is I'm actually going to make another change directly on here, over here, console.log change made by someone else. So why I'm actually doing this is to actually show basically to introduce you to one particular concept called as pulling. Okay, git pull. Okay, so right now I actually made this particular change directly on the store, like original code base, right? So you can actually consider this particular situation as someone else creating a change, and that change has actually been pushed to the, basically merged to the original code base. Okay, and that change is actually there, but that particular change is not there in your branch. Okay, let's actually deal with that particular situation. I'm going to comment this particular change. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to run git pull. So by doing git pull, what we're actually doing is we are basically importing that particular change that is actually there on the master branch, or basically the original code base. Okay, so we can actually think it like this. Okay, this particular change was not there. Okay, so we understood that there is one particular change and we actually running git pull. So by pulling this particular thing, what is actually happening is the version control system will be checking whether everything is actually correct. Basically all the changes that is actually over here is present on the original code base or not. If that is actually not there, then that particular thing will be actually added over here. So that is actually what has happened over here. Okay, just to bring to you the concept of git pull. Okay, so clearing it. So there's one more thing left in this particular video, and that is, let's create one new branch, git checkout fourth. We are right now on the fourth branch. As you can see over here, we just created a branch called as fourth. We are just moving back to master itself. Okay, it was get yeah, move oh, it was not git master, it was git checkout master. Yeah, we are now on the master branch. So now we can actually look at how we can actually delete a branch. Okay, how can we delete it? As simple as creating a new branch. Okay, git branch -d and the name of the branch, and that is it. If you're doing that, deleted branch fourth. Okay, so if you're checking git branch again, you can see there's only 3 branches, admin, master and third. Okay, so that is actually regarding creating a branch, merging the changes, pulling something that was actually not there on our branch, and then deleting a branch. Okay, so we actually covered almost all the important concepts that's actually required for you to actually make sure that you're able to work well with the version control system. So this is not the entire end of the version control system, basically Git. There is actually a lot more concepts that is something that you can actually check it out on your own. So for the time being, this is actually enough. We actually covered the basic things, and this will actually help you to move forward, basically to work with the projects by your own, as well as to actually collaborate on multiple projects. Okay, so yeah, that is it for this particular tutorial series. Yeah, do subscribe to our channel in order to be notified whenever we are sharing a new video on our channel.